Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. I am Grace Thompson. I am one of the UTC ambassadors so that's Ultimate Trinidad Carnival. I am one of the ambassadors, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing Cecilee Bouye. So, Cecilee, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello everyone. So my name is Cecilee Bouye. I am located. I'm in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. A little bit about myself. My background is I do come from a West Indian background. Both parents Guyanese. In terms of what I do, I dabble a little bit of everything. So I have a background in corporate communications, as well as event planning and guest experience, hospitality. My most recent job, I was actually in a casino. So I was doing some casino floor management just recently before the pandemic and whatnot. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I mean, I'm here in Toronto doing my thing. I don't know what that is. A little bit of
Okay.
everything, I guess.
All right. All right. So tell us, Cecily, how did you find out about Trinidad Carnival? I know you said that your parents are Guyanese, but how did you find out about Trinidad Carnival?
Well, being from a West Indian background, I've always known about Trinidad Carnival. Because calypso, soca was always part of my upbringing, like from young. So, my parents going out to parties, and even here in Toronto, we had the Caravana Carnival, the Toronto Carnival is called Caravana from when I was growing up. So from then, that was the party here in Toronto, and I've always heard about or knew about Trinidad Carnival. That was like that special carnival that everyone always wanted to go to. So I always knew about it. My taste first was just being growing up kind of like in the culture, and then yeah, the Toronto Carnival Caravana, going to that every year. That was the one party. My parents were on me all the time, like literally. Like I have stories about my parents following me to parties, but when it came to Caravana weekend, they went with their friends and then I went with my friends. Like it was just the thing, a Caravana weekend, because people used to come in, like their friends used to come in from the States or wherever, and they would meet up with their friends, and that was the one weekend that I could go do my thing. So just from being in that, the next step was Trinidad Carnival. So
Okay, okay. Well, that's a really nice segue. Tell us about your first Trinidad Carnival experience. What was that like?
the first one. So, well, okay. So I'm a little bit, because I actually went before I went with Esha. I had gone probably the year before. Yeah, I think the year before. Yeah, I went the year before to Trinidad Carnival. Um, and that I went, and that was I went with a friend. But my friend lives there in Tobago, so I went. We went to some parties, and we did Juve and that kind of thing. So it wasn't like the full carnival experience, because things were a little bit challenged because we had to like it was hard to find a ride, even getting
Mm,
to parties, and even like getting our Juve costume. We got it last minute. It was a little bit of rigmarole. So my first full experience of Trinidad Carnival was the year after, when I found Isha on, just Googled her, Googled, I was Googling a group. I wanted to get a group experience, someone that kind of like an all inclusive experience.
hmm.
So I Googled and I found Isha's group. And when I went with her, that was my first real Trinidad Carnival experience, because then I played mass, not just Juve. So I did Juve, I did mass, I went to all the all inclusive parties. You know, transportation was taken care of, hotel was taken care of, because the year before we were sleeping on a friend's floor, kind of shacked up like that. But so the first real experience where I experienced everything was, I guess that would be 2014, when I went to Trinidad Carnival and experienced everything from the parade to Juve to the parties, everything.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow. So a big difference in the experience.
huge difference, huge
Yeah,
difference. And
yeah.
that's why I did it, really. So 'cause going the year before, and the way things were kind of like broken up and then, a little bit challenged. I wanted that all-inclusive kind of experience. That's why I wanted to find something or some kind of group that would kind of take care of things for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's why I looked for something, and then the year after, me and a friend went to go experience Trinidad Carnival the way it should be experienced. So
I agree with that. I certainly agree with that.
yeah.
So, from that first experience, what was the most memorable part of that experience for you, that first time?
Let me think. Hmm. I think I have two. Juve. Well, let me see. I guess I have a two-part. So the first time I went, so the year before I went with Isha's group, Juve. It was just magical for me. Like just being going out in the street, like there's darkness and the music in the street and everybody then getting dirty with mud and paint and that whole experience. um that was, yeah, that was the best experience for me. It just like felt so freeing and just so, and going from darkness into light. It was, yes, it was that experience for me. And the year after too, doing it with the UTC, it was fantastic. It was like just everything about it. In addition to that, the one, and there's so many things, but there's so many things. But I would say there's an all-inclusive party, sunny side up. I'm sure, you know, most people have mentioned it in these interviews, but that was the one party. Again, you're going, it's a breakfast party. So you're getting ready in the darkness and you're going to like a morning time. That was the one party that just being there, seeing the live entertainment, having, the food and pretty much everything, anything that you can think of that you wanted to eat. When you got hungry, you can just go over there and get it. You got thirsty, you can just go over there and get it. And again, the live performances. It was at that party, me and my friend were like, okay, we looked at each other and we're like, we're coming back next year. We're coming back next year. We're like, that's everything, like between the Juve and everything, but that party sealed the deal for us. We're just like, okay, this is a fantastic experience and we have to come back next year. And sure enough, next year we were back. Next year we were back. So yeah, so between Juve, um, and actually, the carnival, the parade, dressing up, looking beautiful and getting everything done, like your makeup and uh, yeah, there's so many parts. They're so memorable, really. There's so many parts. It's the whole thing. Um, so many parts, but definitely Juve, definitely Sunny Side Up, and definitely the parade. Those are all memorable to me because it just talking about it, like I just a
You
smile on
get
my face.
chills, you get goosebumps.
Yeah,
I
like
know, I know. And it's almost as if you're immediately transported right back into
yeah,
the middle of the experience.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, and yeah. And when I came back that first time, I was like vibrating with just like happiness and just this energy, and I could do anything. And I feel like every time I even think about it, thinking about going back or just the experience, people talking about it, that energy just comes back up in me. Like I can do anything. Like I'm ready. Like I'm ready. Like, I'm just ready to like, I don't know. It's a great energy after.
It is. It
Oh,
is.
it is. So
So that's great because I was going to ask you what was it, because you have been more than once
mm,
and you've traveled with UTC more than once. And so I was going to ask you, well, what is it about it that made you want to go back again? But you've definitely shared everything about that,
yeah,
that
yeah,
wanted,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And the experience with UTC really, because like I mentioned, I was Googling to find a group that was going. And even at the time when I first found Isha's group, I found another group actually before that, before her. And I was actually in talks with that person as well. Um, but there was something about Isha, like her demeanor or just talking to her, it made me lean towards UTC, and I don't regret it because everything about the experience, because the fact that she has conference calls like leading up to, like, there's emails and conference calls like getting you ready for Carnival.
Mhm.
And then of course when you get there, transportation is taken care of, parties are taken care of. All you have to do is kind of show up, and the UTC team is there to guide you where you need to go, and you just have a good time. And then suddenly that first year, I was just, like in awe. So I was just like, going into parties and just like wandering around, and somehow the UTC members would find me and my friend after to go, okay, it's time to go. And like they were just very attentive to know where we were, and all we
Mhm.
had to do is enjoy ourselves. And even the picking up costumes, because that I experienced that like here in Toronto, and going to the mass camps, and having to wait and all that kind of stuff, and the fact that Esha and the UTC team takes care of that. All I have to do is go to her room for my fitting. They're going to pick up the costumes. It was perfect. So it was really that experience with UTC that, number one, made me go back, travel more than once with Isha's team, because it's the overall experience that's just fantastic. It's just, before that first year, before I left, she had postcards, and she was like, advertising for the next year, and I had them. I was telling people in the airport, I was like, yeah, because everyone needed to do it like this. Everyone needed to do it like this. So that's why, like, I definitely, you know, um, I love the experience, and that's why I've traveled once and twice and more times with UTC and Isha's team, because the whole experience is exactly what I'm looking for. So,
So, question for you, because you have traveled with UTC twice or more than once, was the experience with UTC consistent from year to year?
yes, yes, it's consistent. And I felt like it just got better because I think after the first year, the second year, there was and I think even now there's a photographer.
Mhm.
um so there's someone like
Okay.
taking pictures, taking pictures. You don't even know, and even, well, even yourself, Grace.
Yeah, I am like the
A little
paparazzi
paparazzi, every time
guy.
you turn around someone's taking a picture. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, like someone's taking a picture. I know there's ambassadors now, so, well, yeah, I think it's gotten better like every year, just in terms of what's offered, and the overall experience. It's consistent and has gotten better with little perks and tweaks. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because there's a T-shirt that there's like some swag. Some
Yes, there is
swag now. So, I mean, when I first went, there wasn't necessarily swag, but now there's swag. There's T-shirts, there's bags. It's a little bit of
yeah
everything.
a whole survival kit. Survival kit.
Yes, yes, that too. That too. So yeah, yes, it's gotten better over the years.
Great, great. Well, great energy. Yes, I know you said that you came back after your first time and you were just vibrating with energy. And I think a great way to maintain that energy from one carnival to the next is by listening to soca music,
Oh yes.
right?
Oh yes.
Because that is the happy music. Right? So, unfortunately, I don't listen to anything else.
Yeah.
I would switch it to some American R&B, and then I'm like, this is too slow.
Yeah.
And then I got to put my soca back
Yeah.
on, and I be jamming in the
Yeah.
car. Yeah.
Exactly. In the car, in the kitchen, cleaning,
Yep.
like that's my workout music, because
Yep.
I can go the whole workout listening to that music. So
Yes.
yeah. Yeah.
And I have been known to bust a wine in between sets of
Yes.
and wait.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. So, what parting thoughts would you like to share with our listeners, watchers? What would you like to share?
I would like to share, if you have the opportunity, definitely go to Trinidad Carnival. And I would say definitely go with UTC, because you're going to get an experience where you're taken care of from beginning to end. Your questions are answered. If you've never been, um, Isha, the team, like, there's tools in place and resources where you can learn, get to know. And then once you're there, again, you're taken care of. Um, So yeah, definitely go and play mass and like do everything involved with carnival. Like play mass, play juve, go to the parties, go, watch the steel pan, like everything. That's immerse yourself in it because it's a fantastic experience. I mean, it's called the greatest show on earth, and it is. It's the greatest carnival like to attend. I know right now things a little bit, because of everything that's going on. But if you get a chance, experience Trinidad Carnival. That was the one thing. Again, growing up, there's Carnival here in Toronto. I've been to Carnival in New York, but there's nothing like Trinidad Carnival. And again, do it with a group like Esha's and UTC. It's golden. You'd be golden, golden. Glowing like me and vibrating like me. Trust me.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you, Cecily. Totally loved interviewing you and hearing your experience of your first time going to Trinidad Carnival. And we hope to see you again soon. And
Yes.
listeners, watchers, thank you for watching and listening. Have a great night.
Thanks, Grace. Have a good night. Toodles.